Good evening, Mr. Davenant.
Good evening, Jeffrey. Did you bring the keys to the theater with you?
Yes, sir. Here they are.
Everything all right?
Yes,
Patrick. Patrick.
What is it, darling?
How come you've never brought me here before? I think the whole place is absolutely fantastic.
I'm afraid I'm not very fond of it. I find it cold and sad. Don't you agree, Jeffrey?
It's always damp in this part of the country, sir.
Yes. Well, thank you. You can go back to bed now. I'll close up and put the keys in the mailbox.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night.
This is a side of you I didn't know about, Patrick. You're showing yourself to be a barbarian. I mean, here's this beautiful theater that you actually own, and you just keep it closed.
Well, the minute you and Patrick get back from your honeymoon, all you gotta do is persuade him you need a place to rehearse and open it up. You'll be a star in your own auditorium. Pipe in some canned applause, write yourself a few reviews, and who knows, you might get yourself a walk-on with the local rep.
Duncan, do you realize this is your chance to show the world? You can have the part of the male lead tonight.
Charming. Like Dracula's summer home.
Yes, I did say earlier I thought it was stupid to leave a perfectly good party to come here.
You're always like this, Albert. If you want, you can leave. One of the others can drive me home later.
You forget one thing, my dear. Of all of us here, I'm the only one who has to get up in the morning.
I must remember not to call Albert if I need a doctor. Obviously, he hates the rich.
Are we going to stand about out here all night? Let's go in, shall we?
This place gives me the real creeps. It has a weird feeling.
Just keep close to Rebecca. She'll protect you.
Patrick, how long has it been closed? When was it last used?
Well, it's been in the family for centuries, but I don't think anybody really knows. Don't worry, you won't find any cobwebs or anything. I mean, we do manage to keep it in good condition. Come on in. I'll try and find the lights.
You've been here before, haven't you?
The theater, no. He showed me the grounds once. But you already know about that.
You can't forget him, can you?
Why don't you make an effort to make me forget him?
Patrick, where are you? Put the lights on.
Here, I found a torch.
A cosa serve? Al buio è più romantico.
Ormai lei non ha più bisogno del buio. Patrick è già nella rete. Fra quanto tempo vi sposate?
Fra 2 settimane. Oh, molto presto. Il mio amore è così travolgente che non ho più la forza di resistere. Devo essere sua presto, molto presto.
Siete piuttosto carichi questa sera. Quanta ne avete presa di roba, eh? Ha parlato il grande pittore. Il nuovo Picasso parte all'attacco come un focoso cavaliere per difendere la propria dama.
Ma Kim non è la sua dama. È la donna di papà o sbaglio?
Non sbagli. Comunque a Russell la roba non piace. Per lui è nobile solamente chi si riduce uno straccio con l'alcol. È un uomo fatto all'antica. Bisogna perdonarlo.
Ne hai più bisogno tu di perdono. Cercate di ricordare che siete ancora miei ospiti.
you ever brought me here.
It belongs to Patrick. It was part of his inheritance.
I wish you had inherited it.
Our family's always been like that. The boys are special, and the girls don't really count.
It's all wrong, though. You do all the administrating. And despite that, Patrick never gives you any credit. It's not fair.
As long as you're with me, Angel. Nothing bothers me, darling. Nothing at all.
Now you can see our beautiful theater.
So that's where the switch is. Didn't remember.
Yes, behind the door.
Just love hidden light switches.
By the way, how did you know where it was?
Yes. To know that, you must have been here before.
I have, yes. I spent a whole night here.
When?
On precisely this date, 100 years ago.
What?
100 years ago. You can show us around then.
This must be the way into the stall.
Come on out, you ghosts of the past. Let's hear the sound of your voices. Let's walk the boards so long unused. Let's shake 100 years of dust into life.
Arise, spirits that have slept for centuries. Arise. Let us hear your voices. Your masters have returned.
Spirits have no masters. They're free as birds.
Yes, you're right. For I am a spirit. I can fly. I can draw them into this commune of mortals and bring them entirely under my power. They will obey my every whim. Right, Papa?
No man or spirit could possibly defy you.
Lynn! Hey, Lynn! What you doing down there? We plebs belong in the gallery. And keep your hands off that old fossil.
I've never understood Lynn. She's so very difficult.
I didn't think she meant all that much to you. You had your time cut out. Fawning over her father.
Nice. And just because money's your god doesn't mean everybody thinks that way.
Well, if you ask me, I think that Vivian loved Patrick very much.
Thanks.
Don't you think you're rather too biased about the subject to make any comments on it? I mean, after all, everybody knows that you're more in love with Patrick's money than with the man himself.
Is that so? Obviously, it makes no difference to him. After all, we're still engaged. And the wedding will be next month.
You know what I like about you people? You're so civil to each other.
Con la quale sembrate sbranarvi. Siamo una famiglia molto unita.
Io non faccio parte della famiglia. Non sono sufficientemente ricco né nobile.
Forse hai qualche speranza di diventarlo?
Vorrei ricordarvi che siamo venuti qui per visitare il teatro.
Is there a plan of the theater anywhere, Patrick?
I don't know, sorry. Why don't you look in the office? You might find one in there.
Oh, yes, of course. Doris, let's take a look.
You're being very quiet tonight. Doesn't your mistress let you open your mouth?
You know, there's one thing about you that I've never liked, Russell. You think you're so clever, and you're not. You're just stupid.
One day I'm gonna screw you, Doris.
My, that's real man talk.
The actors are present, and now the play can start.
Quickly.
I've wanted to do this for hours. When I can see you and not touch you, it makes me crazy.
Gotta be patient. It won't be long before we're together forever.
But I can't stand it, darling. If this is the price we have to pay for his money, I'd rather die. I can't go on like this another day. These few stolen seconds alone with you are worse than not seeing you at all.
Kim, I know how difficult it is for you, but darling, believe me, it's gonna be worth it.
When we're among the others, I can sense how much you hate them. I can sense that you'd kill to get your way.
I'd even kill you.
Could you kill me while we're making love, my sweetheart?
You know the name of this game, baby. Winner takes all.
You know why I find you so fascinating, Russell, darling. You're like a rattlesnake, poised, waiting to strike. You don't trust anybody. I always feel I'm in terrible danger when I'm with you. But a woman likes that. You make me feel as though at any moment you could turn and strike me.
What's the matter? There's a man over there. I saw it move.
They're only mannequins.
No, it moved. I swear it did.
There's no one there, darling.
Quante cose buttate via qui dentro, morte.
Sì, ma si ha come l'impressione che ci sia ancora qualcosa di vivo.
Mi dispiace di averti spaventata, Vivian.
No, è questo posto che mi fa uno strano effetto.
Si ha sempre paura delle cose che non si conoscono.
Tu non hai paura, vero?
No. Niente avviene per caso. Tutto quello che accade, ricordalo, è stato già deciso da sempre.
it incredible how everything's been conserved in such good condition? If one cleaned the dust off, it would all look new again.
It must have been beautiful once. Why don't you persuade Patrick to reopen it?
That won't be easy, unfortunately. I mean, he won't even talk about it. It's almost as if he's afraid of the place.
I'm sure if you tried, he'd reopen it. You know, it'd be very hard to refuse. To refuse you anything. How long have you and Russell been lovers? Don't be afraid. I won't tell anybody.
Who told you that, Doris?
You've been together for 3 years. Since before Patrick. And you're still together.
Either it's your imagination or Rebecca's been telling you stories.
Don't try to blame Rebecca. We always share our secrets.
Well, you see, I like men. I suppose that makes me a little abnormal. Look, isn't this pretty? What do you think, Doris? Will it fit me?
Well, go on. Try it on.
I imagine it's meant to be Elizabethan. Feel that material. Isn't it great?
No one tries to kill without a motive.
Well, it's not difficult to think of a motive for every one of you.
And mine, for example? What would that be?
You hold a grudge because Kim broke up with you to go with me. That answers your question.
Patrick, you obviously don't know me. A broken love affair is not going to turn me into a murderer.
In fact, it's better for you, Russell, if he stays alive. After all, he's the only one who buys your paintings.
Well, who gave you the money to build your luxurious clinic, Albert? Wasn't Father Christmas. I'd say it was just an unfortunate accident. The fact is, not one of us wants you dead. I mean, let's face it, Patrick. It is your money we all live on.
If I were to die, there's somebody here who would benefit.
Meaning me, Papa?
Lynn?
Lo sai che hanno tentato di uccidermi pochi minuti fa. Ed è stato per puro caso se mi sono salvato. Forse tuo padre si riferisce a me. Io non avrei né scrupoli né legami di sangue. E il tuo denaro mi farebbe piuttosto comodo. Soltanto si dà il caso che da quando siamo entrati in questo teatro, io e Lynn siamo sempre rimasti insieme. Quindi o tu pensi che Lynn sia mia complice, o sei costretto ad assolvere anche me.
La tua famiglia non finisce con Lynn.
I agree, Rebecca and I aren't very close. But I don't think she...
Would be able to kill you, Patrick? I'm sorry, but to get your money, she'd be more than able to commit a simple murder.
Well, I grant you one thing. If I were dead, she'd be much better off financially.
So Rebecca's the guilty party. You're being very quick with your accusations, aren't you? Anyone, including you, can take a knife and cut through a piece of rope.
Didn't you say no one kills without a motive?
That's you out, huh? How about asking Lynn if she can find one for you?
It wouldn't be difficult. You were very unhappy 3 years ago when you broke up with my father and got a divorce.
Well, it doesn't bother her now. If you really want to know, Vivian and I are very happily married.
You really think she's better off with you, Albert? What went wrong, Patrick?
I don't think that's any of your business, Russell. It has nothing to do with this.
I never meant to hurt you, Patrick.
Whatever you did then is water under the bridge. I wish I could say the same for you, Albert. You've resented me for years, haven't you?
Resented you? Why? Vivian has never kept her former life hidden from me.
You owe me a small fortune.
I know. But it wouldn't help me at all if you were killed. Your heirs would immediately demand payment, and I'd be finished.
There's one person we've overlooked. The guy with the Nehru jacket. Hey, who is he?
Damned if I know.
We thought he was a friend of yours. None of us knows him.
Well, I never saw him before tonight. I guess he's a friend of Rebecca's.
Strange. Since you nearly got brained, he hasn't been around. I know one thing. If I'd tried to knock somebody off, the first thing I'd do would be to disappear, and quickly.
And that would be a very bad move. Because everybody would be suspicious of you then.
How long have you been standing there?
Long enough to have heard the most important parts of your discussion.
And just where were you when...
When somebody tried to murder you.
Yes.
I was around. Without an alibi. Without a witness.
I think maybe we found our culprit. He's the one who did it.
What did I do?
Someone cut a rope up there and tried to drop a beam on my head.
That's impossible. Not for crying out loud. I think the whole thing's just a big put-on. As far as I'm concerned, the evening's entertainment is a washout. I'm leaving.
I thought you'd be the first to pull out.
Duncan can think what he likes, but this place is beginning to close in on me. By the way, before anyone tries another trick routine, he'd better make sure his props are better prepared.
In my true love's hand, a cup. Romeo, I come, this do I drink to thee. Poison I see, hath been his timeless end. Oh, churl, drunk all, and left no friendly drop to help me after. I will kiss thy lips. Haply some poison yet doth hang on them, to make me die with a restorative. Dear Romeo, thy lips are warm. Who comes? I hear a noise. My time is running out. Then I'll be brief. Oh, happy dagger. This is thy sheath, their rust. Let me die in peace.
Beautiful. You really got a lot of talent, you know. Wow. Worthy of the old Vic. Kim! for lying here?
As far as she's concerned, it's not important. But for the police, it's very important that nothing is touched.
First it was me, and now Kim. But who'd want to murder her? Rebecca, call the police.
We should never have come here. There's something evil in this place.
Whoever killed her is one of us. I can't imagine why.
We've all hated each other so much and for so long, the reasons behind it are now forgotten. Hello? 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 Hello?
It's obviously out of order.
Either we must get a hold of the caretaker, or I'll go into the village and bring the police here.
And disappear in a puff of green smoke.
No, it's not out of order. They cut the lines.
They what?
Whoever murdered Kim cut the lines so we couldn't call for help.
Let's get out of here. We can get help in the village.
You're wasting your time. It's locked. I had to look for the keys, but they're gone. I have a feeling they're in Patrick's pocket.
Patrick!
Lovely, isn't it, Doris? It must have been the killer who locked us in here. Like rats in a trap.
You mean son of a bitch. I hope you're the next victim.
Why? I was only trying to boost her morale.
What's the trouble?
The phone's out of order and we've been locked in. You had the keys. What'd you do with them?
I left them over there on that silver plate.
Well, they're not there any longer.
But I know I left them there.
They weren't there before either.
What do you mean before?
20 minutes ago, I was leaving.
Running away, Russell.
That was before Kim was killed.
What are we going to do now? We're all trapped in this damn place.
Just a moment. There's got to be another set of keys somewhere in the office. I'll take a look.
Well, did you find them?
Yes. We better try the other doors.
I want to get out of here. I don't want to be killed. It was you who brought us in here, so now you get us out. You brought us here to be killed, didn't you?
Vivian, calm down. Come on, stop it.
There has to be a logical answer. There's nothing supernatural here. It's a question of
Then
finding...
why can't we open any of the doors? Why? Let go of me. You own this place. Why don't you do something? Open the door.
Someone's in there.
It's coming from the stage.
It sounds like Kim, but...
Look here upon this picture and And on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See what a grace was seated on this brow, Hyperion's curls, the front of Jove himself, an eye like Mars to threaten and command, a station like the herald Mercury, new lighted on a heaven-kissing hill. A combination and a form indeed, where every god did seem to set his seal, to give the world assurance of a man. This was your husband. Look you now what follows. Here is your husband, like a mildewed ear, blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Could you on this fair mountain leave to feed and batten on this moor? Huh? Have you eyes? You cannot call it love. For at your age, the heyday in the blood is tame. It's humble and waits upon the judgment. And what judgment? To step from this to this. Sense, sure you have. Else could you not have motion. But sure that sense is apoplexed. For madness could not err, nor sense to ecstasy was ne'er so thralled. What devil wast thus hath cozened you, goodman blind? Eyes without sight, feeling without sight, ears without hands or eyes, smelling sans all, or but a sickly part of one true sense could not so mope. Oh, shame! Where is thy blush? Rebellious hell, if thou canst mutine in a matron's bones, to flaming youth let virtue be as wax, and melt in her own fire. Proclaim no shame when the compulsive ardor gives the charge. Let virtue be as wax, and melt in her own fire. Since frost itself as actively doth burn, and reason ponders will.
Who is it? Why can't we see anyone? Quiet.
That's all there is.
You're sure it's not broken?
He picked up Vivian and me, didn't it? No, it's not broken.
But we are trying to explain things which just cannot be explained. The telephone, the locked doors, and now there are these voices.
Where's the man with the narrow jacket?
How the hell should I know?
But who is he?
Why don't you ask Rebecca?
I don't know. I never even saw the man before tonight.
You must admit, he seemed to know his way around in here. I mean, he did find the lights.
It's been closed for years.
When we were at the party, your club, Patrick, earlier this evening, who was it who made the suggestion to come here?
You know, come to... Yes, I think it was Lynn.
It wasn't me at all. It was our mysterious friend who suggested it.
Yes, that's right. And now you mention it, he said he hadn't seen the place for a number of years and very much wanted to see it again.
We've got to find him. It's he who holds the key to this mystery.
Patrick, what's happening?
I'm not sure, but it's frightening.
Is there something you haven't told us about?
I don't know who that man is.
That's not what I meant. I meant the theater. Why has it been closed for, as you said, a century?
There's this old legend. It says that 100 years ago, a bunch of partygoers came to visit this theater one night. They remained in here behind locked doors. When the doors were finally opened,
You mean they could not open the doors from the inside?
They're all dead and mutilated. And that's why the theater's been closed.
You mean they were murdered?
I don't know. As far as I know, no one knows.
Patrick, there's got to be some answer. Something that we can do. I'd like to make up for what happened before between us. If I can help you now.
Now you tell me. Too late.
Why too late?
Vivian, I have an idea that none of us will get out of here alive. When they open the doors tomorrow morning, they'll find everybody dead.
What do you mean dead, Patrick? How can you say something so...
You know the date today?
February the 15th, your birthday.
There's something I left out of the story of that legend, the date of that night. It was 100 years ago on my birthday.
Albert, what the hell?
Open up. I know you're in there. Come on. Come on. Open the door. It was you who killed Kim. It's no use denying it. I saw you. I saw you running away behind the scenes. Open the door. Listen. I won't tell anyone. I won't tell anyone you did it. I promise. I promise to do my best to help you. Really. Just help me get away.
Somebody tried to kill me. I managed to run. And then he caught me again and tried to disfigure me with a lighter cigarette. I'm not lying, Rebecca.
Where was he?
Along there, about halfway up that corridor.
Who's yelling? What the hell's going on in here?
Oh, I don't know. Another ghost, probably. You know what this place is like.
Vivian's just been attacked.
By whom?
I don't know. It could have been anyone. He was wearing a long black cloak, and his face was covered by a weird mask.
Where did this happen?
In the corridor behind the stage. When he caught me, he pinned me down on the floor. And it was Russell who saved me. They started fighting, and I ran away.
Russell? Show me where it was. I just don't understand. Try and think back. Didn't he say anything to you? I mean, don't you have any idea who it might have been?
No idea.
There's no one here. You asked me, she saw a shadow and her imagination ran wild.
Kim wasn't killed by a shadow.
Couldn't you even tell whether it was a man or a woman? I don't know. By the way he moved, for example. Or by his eyes. You saw his eyes, didn't you?
Albert, I was too frightened to know that.
Vivian. We found him too late.
Maybe he committed suicide.
It's an idea, yes. However, there's too much evidence to the contrary. Last Vivian saw him, he was fighting her assailant, and besides, why would he commit suicide?
Out of remorse? I have an idea he was the one who killed Kim. Kim was engaged to Patrick. But before that, she'd had a thing going with Russell. There's always a chance that Russell was a little jealous.
Do you expect us to believe in a fairy tale like this?
It's incredible. Totally irrational. But there have been too many extraordinary coincidences. Look here. This first one is an exact representation of the way Kim died. This one shows a woman being threatened. And the third one, a hanging. That's what happened to poor Russell. I don't know how old this parchment is, but we've had it for more than 500 years. And yet it pictures everything that's going on here tonight. Coincidence?
If it isn't, then there has to be a reason. What's the story behind it all, and how does it involve us?
We happen to be following the same chain of events.
A girl who's been knifed, a man who's been hanged. But the second one is a picture of a girl yelling and obviously being threatened with a dagger.
Why don't you ever listen to me, Albert? It was a cigarette, not a dagger.
Cigarettes weren't invented 500 years ago. So it looks as if number two there isn't you, Vivian. We're letting our imaginations run away with us.
Doris!
Yes, where is she?
He disappeared.
No, Rebecca, stay here. Don't be a fool. Let her go and look. With everyone else right here, there's no risk.
Sì, ma la prossima vittima. Guarda. Stai dicendo un sacco di sciocchezze. Oppure cerchi di confonderci le idee. L'assassino è uno di noi. E dobbiamo scoprirlo prima che sia troppo tardi.
Doris!
all tricks that can be explained very simply. For a start, the doors could easily have been blocked by radio control. Then, how many of us have had our phones out of order? Nothing unusual about that. And those mysterious voices on the stage could quite easily have been from a tape.
Yes, but my recorder didn't record them, did it? It's not that I believe in the supernatural, but that's a fact.
It's a fact only if you push the buttons correctly. I mean, we do only have your word.
For what that's worth, eh?
Well, a mistake doesn't have to be deliberate.
Thanks a lot. But I'm afraid this discussion isn't getting us anywhere. Come on, darling.
Wait a minute, where are you going?
Fishing.
And Nehru jacket, how do you explain him?
I saw his picture just now. It's hanging on the wall, just in there.
Are you sure? As I recall, the only paintings in there are over 100 years old.
That's right. It was a portrait of the 18th century. But I couldn't have been mistaken.
We're still suffering from shock.
I'm not, I swear to you. When I saw Dill, it was him, I'm sure.
Well, it is 18th century, that much is true. Tell me, my dear, how could it have been of a man who was with us 10 minutes ago?
What if he wasn't a man?
He's a man. And he's hiding in this theater somewhere, and I'm totally convinced that he's an accomplice to the killer.
So am I.
Hmm? Why shouldn't he be the killer himself?
Every one of us has said he doesn't know him. What motive could he have for killing total strangers?
If your theory is correct, then the killer is someone who knows literally everything about this theater. Every nook and cranny. Whoever it is was in a position to get in before and prepare the whole thing. Who could do that? I could.
Or Rebecca, or Lynn, or Duncan. Any one of us could have got into the building.
Even you. Or Albert. Any one of us. You really wouldn't mind getting rid of me, would you?
That's right, Patrick. But it couldn't be proved.
Then who was it that tried to kill me in that case?
You stay here.
Let go of me.
Doris! Doris! Are you there? Doris! Doris?
Patrick. You. Who are you? Tell me.
Patrick, who are you talking to?
To the man with the...
But there's nobody there.
But he was here. I saw him clearly. I swear I did.
But Patrick, I don't understand.
I tell you, it was a man in a Nehru jacket. He was standing with his back to the wall. Vivian, you must have seen him as well. He was just over there, in the light.
It was just an hallucination. You're very confused, distraught.
Then, I'm mad. I'm crazy. What was that theory of Albert's? I'm the one who engineered it. Let's face it, I'm the one who knows the theater. Maybe it was me.
Everyone would laugh at such an idea, Patrick. Everyone.
But I'm afraid it's the truth. There are times in the last few hours I just seem to black out. Can't remember anything. What happens? What do I do in those moments?
Come on, Patrick. Try to be rational. Someone tried to kill you only a few minutes after we got here. You couldn't have set that up. Besides, I'm quite sure you're not a killer. Listen, if we don't get out of here soon, we'll all be killed or go mad. And I swear to you that the only person I'm not frightened to be with is you.
And suppose you're wrong to put so much trust in me.
It wouldn't matter. You see, my life hasn't meant too much after what happened 3 years ago.
You don't really mean that, Vivian, so don't say it.
You terminated our marriage without telling me why. But I knew before. Someone sent you a letter and a bunch of photographs, explaining in the most intimate detail what I had been.
A very liberated woman. A bit too liberated to be my wife.
A prostitute is the word, or a woman of easy virtue. It's more expressive.
Vivian.
All of it's true, Patrick.
You know how much you meant to me. I thought about it for a long time before I filed suit.
I didn't want to break up with you. In your circle, though, a woman can be a lesbian or she can change partners if she likes. And in that case, she's often considered pleasantly eccentric. But she mustn't do it for money. That's breaking the rules.
Why talk about it? I've always done my best to avoid stirring up the dirt.
Why? Because you should be made aware of certain facts. Your anonymous informer was the man that you've always had complete trust in, Albert. He's like a limpet. Behind the scenes, always clinging to your rich world. That's Albert. One-upmanship. That's why he wanted to marry me.
Albert.
All he wants is to keep his seat in the world of the rich. You know he hates you, and he'll hate you forever. Because he knows I can't forget about you.
I didn't realize. I always thought his problem with me was money.
I don't mean anything to you now, I know. But I still love you, Patrick. Now more than I did at any other time.
grandfather was 94 years old before he finally keeled over, victim of a heart attack?
And your brother ended up at age 33 in a mental home.
Yeah, the liquor got to him. He was a complete alcoholic. That can happen in the best of families.
In fact, if any of these best families don't have an alcoholic in the drinks cupboard, they're considered somewhat low class.
I gather Patrick was under treatment for some months when he was young. You know about that?
Listen, Doctor. If you're insinuating that my father's mad, well, the mad one here is you.
I wasn't insinuating anything. I simply said that Patrick had had treatment.
That was because he was suffering from nervous strain. Believe me, Patrick's completely lucid and extremely rational. His one and only defect is that he's surrounded by pseudo-friends that prey on his generosity, Albert. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if one of these parasites was a killer.
You listen to me, Lynn. I don't intend...
Stop throwing your weight around, Doctor. We're sick and tired of it. And if you fancy yourself a Sherlock Holmes, find somebody else to try it on. Got it?
Where's Rebecca?
Find Doris and you'll find Rebecca. It's elementary, my dear Watson.
I can't take it any longer, Duncan. I can't take all this. I'm scared.
Come on, Lynn. For God's sake, pull yourself together.
But Kim and Russell were murdered. How do we know that we won't be next, Duncan?
Russell killed Kim and then committed suicide, that's all. And I, for one, won't shed any tears over them. Don't worry, darling. Nothing else is going to happen.
Pull yourself together!
What have we got here? The killer's left a visiting card by the look of it.
But that's mine. Right after we arrived, I noticed it was gone. I searched everywhere, but it had disappeared.
Or did you bump off Rebecca?
Me? No. I haven't seen her for hours. I was with Patrick.
When? Do you know the exact minute when she was killed, then?
How would I know? Don't you believe me, Duncan? What makes you think I killed her? I haven't seen her for hours. For God's sake, we're all going mad. I had nothing to do with it.
Come back here!
It wasn't her, Duncan. It wasn't any of us. Do you hear me?
Oh, great. What was it, then? Vampires?
I just want all this to stop.
In 20 minutes, we'll be out of this place.
How can you be sure?
You'll see.
Oh, help me. Please don't leave me. I'm scared.
Here.
Why didn't you say you had some earlier? Come on, give them to me. Quick. Give me a couple more, please, Duncan.
all right, my darling love. I was just dreaming, that's all. A bad dream, and now it's over.
What have you been taking?
Nothing. A couple of little pills, nothing else. Oh, what really counts is that the whole of tonight was only a hallucination. No one's locked us up in here. No one's been killed. And you're not my father. And as you're not my father, it means there's no more Barry. Right, Patrick?
Surprised you, eh? I bet that gave you a bit of a turn.
What do you think you're doing? And what's that costume?
What do you think it is?
I found it lying in the corridor, behind the boxes. And I bet you anything you like, the man who left it there was the one who's been doing the killings.
And who's to say that you're not the one who's been doing the killings, Duncan? Well?
The man who tried to burn me with a cigarette was wearing that outfit.
Well, that wasn't me.
Look, if I really wanted to get rid of you, Vivian, I could have easily done it a few minutes ago.
Oh, God. I've never been so frightened, Patrick.
He's just an idiot, drugged up to the eyeballs. But I don't think he's a murderer. I don't think the answer to what has occurred tonight has anything to do with any of us. It's in the words of our mysterious friend. What he said has some evil logic. All that's come to pass in this theater tonight has already happened. I remember now how the servants used to talk around the house when I was a baby, and I thought I didn't understand. They used to say that one of my ancestors, many, many centuries ago, was a feudal prince, powerful landowner. It seems he came to realize that those of his court that he'd always trusted and apparently were loyal wanted him dead. So one day he decided to throw a banquet in this theater. And he killed them all, one by one. Exactly what happened, no one knows. But ever since, my family's been under a curse. Once every 100 years, there's horror and death in our family, brought about in the same manner.
But it's only a legend, Patrick.
Wouldn't you say it's happening point by point?
Oh, my God. I look as white as a corpse. Patrick! Please don't do that. Take that costume off. No. Please, what are you doing? Don't play around like this.
Vivian. Didn't want to do it.
Liz!
Lynn, I'm the killer. I killed everyone. I didn't know I was doing it. I don't remember anything I've done. I don't even remember how I did it. Help me, Lynn. Help me. It wasn't me who did the killing. It was our mysterious friend. He was the one who made me a murderer. Lynn, help me. Only you can really help me.
Well, we did it. Everything worked out all right. It's a real stroke of luck you didn't manage to kill him earlier with that beam. It flipped him enough to make him start killing off the others. And now, there's nobody left to say what happened. We're finally rich, Lynn. We can live how and where we want.
I wish it were true, but what do we do about the doors? We're still locked in.
I know. Don't you think I thought of that? I chopped away the lock. One good push and it'll...
No. I don't understand it. It's impossible, Lynn. Somebody locked us in again.
I want to get out. Get me out.
Oh, shut up. Shut up. That's enough, Lynn. Oh, come on. Look. Well, I've got an idea. Come on.
Duncan, let's go back. I don't like it here.
We're trapped up there. We've a better chance this way.
Are you sure there's a way out down here?
And so, every 100 years, he kills them all, one by one, having mercy only on his daughter, because he loves her, not in a platonic way, but as her lover. And it was you who carried in your heart the fruit of that love that was to kill your father. But on his daughter and on her descendants will fall the same curse that will occur every 100 years, a curse that will endure until the heir of this estate involves himself in a non-incestuous relationship. Only then will the family be free of the guilt it bears, and the terrible curse on it have gone.